Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the Washington Commanders play football tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. The Patriots and the Washington Commanders are set to do battle mano a mano in the first preseason game, and your man Juan Gotti had to go out and fish for New England Patriots content creator and diehard fan to get the perspective of the New England Patriots. So let's go ahead and cover that coming up here next. Let's talk about it.
The way that we live is not for everybody, man.
Nah, that ain't it, y'all.
How do you think the rest of Jaden Daniels' career is going to go? If we're, 6, 7 games into Jaden Daniels' career and he's already milking injuries, like...
They stop saying my name, you dick rhyme bastard.
So with the game being tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, your man Juan Gotti had to go out and go behind enemy lines and get my guy Ken from Ken's Pet Talk to give us all the news and fluff about the New England Patriots. How you doing, bro? Appreciate you for stopping by.
Great, man. Great, man. I appreciate you having me on, man. I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, definitely. So, man, first of all, let's just talk about how good it feels to have football back. Like I know it's preseason, but boy, this off season just was so long, and I miss football.
Man, it feels great. I'm sitting here watching Baltimore and the Colts now. I'm about to watch the Raiders and Seahawks after that. We do open up with the Raiders week 1, so I know they're not going to play that stars tonight, but I still want to see what they got from a depth standpoint because you never know. Geno Smith might get hurt. Genty might get, some of their stars might get hurt. So I need to be looking at these guys that's sitting behind them to see who we possibly could be. I mean, kind of scout them out a little bit, try to see who we possibly could be playing week 1. And week 1 is upon us, a month away. I'm glad the preseason is here. We got the Commanders and Patriots tomorrow night. I'm just happy football's back because after the NBA Finals, bro, it was just crazy. Want nothing on TV, want nothing to do. I mean, it wasn't much going on. I'm just happy football back. When training camp starts to come back, you start smelling that grass outside. You know, football is in the air, and I'm glad it's back. We got the Ravens and Colts tonight. I think Cincinnati and the Eagles, they're playing tonight too. So a couple other teams playing, but tomorrow's the biggest day. You got Commanders and the Patriots. Let's get into it.
Yeah, man. So again, appreciate you for coming on. But let's jump straight into it. I mean, we could talk a little bit about the joint practice as it seemed as if both quarterbacks was getting the better of the team's defense. And I'll go on record to say I love Jaden Daniels. He's my quarterback. But Drake May, boy, am I a fan of Drake May, as I think he's the second best quarterback out of this whole entire 2024 draft class.
Quickly, last year now, I know you've been covering the Commanders for a while. Last year, May was supposed to get drafted by the Commanders, and Daniels is going to be a Patriot. That's what and then as the draft got there, so I say like a few weeks after y'all worked that Daniels, the rumors started to come out. I think Schefter said that he would like the Commanders. He told Commander fans to go get the Jaden Daniels jersey. I don't know if you remember that. But May was going to be a Commander, and we was going to get him. And then as we got near May, the rumors started coming out. Patriots going to get May. Daniels going to go to Washington. We already knew Cato was going to Chicago. Did you want May last year before coming out? Where were you at on Drake May? I know you like him now, and you probably been like him, but during the process last year, and be honest, where did you want May or did you want Daniels?
Yeah, so I mean, coming out of last year, I felt as if, first of all, I just wanted to get a quarterback, and he actually panned out, right? In Washington,
Yeah.
we've had too many quarterbacks that we spent high quality draft picks on, and they didn't work out. So that's what I wanted first, whether it was Williams, May, Penix, Dan, whatever. But once I kind of knew we were at the number 2 overall pick, and it was either Daniels. We had our pick because I knew Caleb Williams was going to go first, so we had our pick with the rest of the crew. And truth be told, man, I know it's easy to say that now, Daniels being the number 2 overall pick, but in the moment, I didn't know who exactly I wanted because for me,
Well,
it
who were
it
you
felt,
hearing was going to be the pick?
huh?
who was you hearing was going to
So
be the
I
pick?
was always hearing Jaden Daniels. It was always
Okay.
Caleb Williams one, Jaden Daniels two, and I felt like Jaden Daniels had the more upside and potential to be what we know him to be right now. But when you ask me, one, you all have taken these chances. Maybe may God rest his soul, Dwayne Haskins and RG3 and all these other guys that made that you kind of drafted based off of upside and what they could turn into. Looking at the eye test, Drake May probably going back last year, you can say coming out of UNC, probably could say was more of the polished NFL ready quarterback. And at that time, I would probably say I wouldn't fault this organization for leaning more towards that, taking the safer pick because Jaden Daniels was viewed as this boomer bust kind of guy
Well,
before
I
we know
thought
what he
not to
is
cut. I
today.
thought Daniels was the more safer pick, the more polished. May was raw coming out.
Hmm.
So May was
Yeah.
the more raw one coming out. He needed some more seasoning. That's why we
Hmm.
didn't start him right away. And they were saying Washington should go get Daniels because y'all had a team that was ready to kind of that he could go to the team right now and start right away. If May would have went there, I forgot who y'all with Mariota. I don't think y'all would have played him.
So what I will say to that is that in terms of full quarterback play, athleticism, accuracy, throw of the ball, yes, he was the more polished quarterback. But in terms of just the accuracy and pocket passer and just thrower of the football, I think by far coming out of UNC, Drake May was more of that pro ready, or at least had that pro ready style. I mean, you go back to a guy like Sam Howell, who was also at UNC, who was a good flamethrower of the
Y'all
football as
had
well.
him,
So
yeah.
from that aspect of things, that's where I was looking at it. You know what I'm saying? But of course, like I said, talent wise, everything, the full package, Jaden Daniels had that potential. But nah, I can tell you firsthand, we did not have a team that you can come to say he can come in and start and do what he did last year. Nobody expected him to do what he did, in fact, last year. But I definitely feel like Jaden Daniels was always on their board of that them being their pick at number two. But had we been number three and you all took Jaden Daniels, I
Y'all would have
think
been
we
happy with
probably would
May.
have been, yeah, I think we probably would have been fine with Drake May, because not that he would have had the same success as Jaden Daniels, because I mean, again, that was such an anomaly of a season. But I think we probably would be right where you all were. If we had everything the same coaching staff wise, we probably would be a little bit a step further, because you wouldn't have had to find Gerard Mayo. You probably would have had Dan Quinn second year, stuff like that. You kind of have a second year quarterback, but kind of first year little situation. So, kind of long story short, for me, Jaden Daniels was always the pick, but had it been Drake May, I probably would have been behind it, regardless of the fact, because I do think he's a damn good
Did
quarterback
your
as well.
did the fan base or did your followers, did the people in DC, did they want May? Did they like May?
I think a lot of people did like Drake May, but I think what Jaden Daniels put on tape in terms of you see what he could potentially turn into in terms of everything. Because again, we talk about everything, right? Athleticism, he clears Drake May and anybody else in this draft class, and just this potential to reach a superstar status and just be the next big thing. He has that. So of course, I felt like the people in DC and over here in the area, they wanted Drake May. I mean, they wanted Jay Daniels, but also I wouldn't be surprised if you asked a ton of Commanders fans that would have said, "Nah, I would have taken Drake May, or I would have taken a guy that we kind of feel like fits a Cliff Kingsbury offense more." But that being said, though, I feel like both teams are happy with their selection. Nevertheless, like I think we love Jaden Daniels. We're happy that we got Jaden Daniels, but I know you guys kind of. Even though he didn't start right away, I think he sold you guys on a pretty solid rookie season that told you we can take this thing to the next level and kind of grow
Yeah.
with it.
Given what he was working with last year, first year head coach, first year GM, first year OC, can you name one Patriots wide receiver? Like, see right now, outside of Stephon Diggs, name me one Patriots wide receiver.
So I was gonna say before he tore us a new one, Keyshawn Booty killed us. But besides like those
Pop
guys,
Douglas.
yeah, I knew Pop Douglas. I thought y'all still had Kendrick Bourne over there.
Yeah, he's hurting
Um,
right now, but the Patriots wide receivers are not good. Let's just say that.
right.
Take Stephon Diggs off that team. Our receiver is not even in the top 20.
Hmm.
Like, come on now. Like, so I think with what he was working with, and we had our offensive line last year was a patchwork offensive line. We had guys calling him off the practice squad and undrafted guys to protect Drake May. He had 15 touchdowns, 10 interceptions last year. Now, it's a caveat to that. Now, that's why it's good to watch the games, not just look at the stats. He had 10 interceptions. Six of those interceptions were either tilt passes or miscommunications. He didn't have those Jameis Winston interceptions, the crazy interceptions. He didn't have none of those. He had 10. He had 10 interceptions. It was tilt passes, might have been some overthrows. He sees the field well. Like, I think, how many interceptions did Jaden have? About 7 or 8?
I want to say it was. I think I want to say it was five,
It
six,
was something
five or
like
six.
that. Yeah,
Let me
it was a
see.
low number. May
Yeah.
had 10, but like I said, 6 of the 10 were tilt passes or like
Hmm.
a miscommunication or something like that. Weird things. It still goes down as an interception, but it was weird. These weird things that happened last year, like the one that he
Yeah.
threw yesterday, that Bobby Wagner tilt. Pop Doug was running wide open. May just
Hmm.
didn't. He didn't see Wagner. Wagner tipped it. He had a lot of plays like that last year. Play like interceptions bouncing off people helmet and like just getting like it was crazy in the sense why you got to watch the game. So I see what I know. We got a better team. He's been lights out. You seen it yesterday. We will get into it
Yeah.
shortly. He's
That.
been lights out with Josh McDaniels. Now he has a competent offensive coordinator, and we all know Josh McDaniels knows how to get the best out of slot receivers, out of quarterbacks. He took Matt Jones to the playoffs. Matt Jones had a Pro Bowl year up under Josh McDaniels' rookie season. He went to the Raiders with Derek Carr. We know what he did with Tom Brady, Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, I think May is the guy for us in the long haul. I'm a big time fan of Drake May. He got to cut down the turnover, but like I said, the turnovers weren't his fault. A lot of them wrong. He had 10 picks. About half of them were his fault. So you take away the 5 tilt passes, he only got like 4 or 5 interceptions. So this year, I think our schedule is good. And I think yesterday, and I know y'all had a lot of starters playing yesterday. May look real good. I mean, I was refreshing my tweet, even though Washington Commanders reporters that were there were saying, man, May is dealing right now.
Hmm.
That really put something on him mouth because we have the past couple of years in our defense line, our defense has been dominating the offense. This year, I feel like the offense got to step up. They've been producing, and it was good to see them against another professional team put up what they did. I think tomorrow night May probably gonna play a series or two, but I like what I seen from May. And like I said, with what I heard, the Patriots won today yesterday. I'm sure we'll get into it, but I like what I seen from Drake May yesterday. Outside that pick, that was a tip interception. Threw like 3 or 4 touchdowns, ran in and one. He looked real good in offensive line protected.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about yesterday with Drake May having a stellar day. I mean, Jaden Daniels as well. Both quarterbacks were very, very good. And when you talk about his turnovers from last year, I just looked it up. Jaden Daniels actually had nine
Okay, I
interceptions.
know
Drake May
about
had
8.
10.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so looking at what Bobby Wagner did yesterday, where it was kind of a tip pass. Essentially, what you're saying from Drake Mays, a lot of his turnovers were just good decisions, but just an even better play by the defense, and that's just how the game is. Similar to yesterday, where Drake May made a beautiful pass on Marshawn Lattimore, where that was great coverage by Marshawn Lattimore, just an
Did
even
you think
better
that was
ball by
PI?
Drake May.
Offense PI?
Huh?
Did you think it was offensive pass
So
interference?
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't watched the clip up close enough that many times to really decipher if it was offensive pass interference. But nevertheless, it was great. A great ball by Drake May and great coverage by Marshawn Lattimore. It's just like that's just football, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes a great ball can beat good defense. That's just the nature of the game. So again, going into the actual preseason game itself, though. Our starters probably won't play a lot in terms of Jaden Daniels is clearly not playing,
Who's
but
going to be your start receivers tomorrow?
so obviously Terry McLaurin Lauren is still out, right? We know the contract, the debacle with him is
And I
still
would have
going
paid
on.
him.
So if I had to say the starters, I don't think Debo Samuel plays. I personally wouldn't
I
play him
doubt
if
he
they
plays.
did. Yeah, I wouldn't play Debo Samuel, especially with Jaden Daniels not being out there. So I would probably have to go out on a limb and say our starting receiving core would look something along the lines of maybe Luke McCaffrey and Michael Gallup and probably Ja'Cory Brooks because even Noah Brown, I think he's still dealing with a
KJ
little
Osborne?
injury. KJ Osborne, I don't know if he'll be considered a starter, but he's definitely playing tomorrow. I know you
Is
guys
he
know
gonna
that
make the
experience.
team?
I don't think so, man. I don't think so. And that's the crazy thing about it, because I know you guys know all about that all too well down there. When he had that one solid year in Minnesota, I thought this was the start of something special. Then he goes to New England and pretty much be banged up
But
and
he had that
just
year when he was playing with Justin Jefferson and was Thielen there
Adam
still? I think
Thielen.
Thielen was still. That's when he had that year. He was the third option. Nobody
Yeah.
cared nothing about him, but he didn't do squat with us last year. I think Gallup can really give y'all. So I don't. What kind of camp has Michael Gallup had?
What kind of what again?
Camp has he had a good camp?
Yeah, so it's been a good camp, but what I will say is he's been flying under the radar. I think he'll still make this team just because of his veteran presence and his
He's a big
relationship
body.
with Dan Quinn from Dallas. It's been quiet, but he's made plays. It hasn't been something along about he's struggling, or it hasn't been, oh, he's having a dominant camp. He's made plays. He even made a play down in Foxborough yesterday. So I think he'll get that last six receiver spot. And I'm a big fan of Michael Gallup just for the simple fact that he's a former 1,000-yard receiver. He retired last year, so he's 100% healthy, like no injury. So I'm super excited about what he can add to this receiver room. So I think you'll probably get a heavy dose of what he brings to the table tomorrow for sure.
What about Luke McCaffrey?
So Luke McCaffrey, I
I
think a
expected
lot
a
of
lot for him last year, but he didn't do it. He was okay, but not what I expected.
Yeah, so with Luke McCaffrey, his situation is a little bit different because he's new to the wide receiver position. He's a former quarterback, and this is like his third or fourth year solely playing the wide receiver position. So he didn't produce a lot last year, but I do think he's a damn good kick returner, and I think he has the potential to truly turn into a solid weapon. One thing I will say about Luke McCaffrey is, although his stats wasn't necessarily produced high last year in terms of the numbers, he was always open. There were countless times where Jaden either overthrew him or didn't look at him, or maybe he was the last read in the progression. Like, it was just a lot of times where he was open but never got the ball thrown his way. And something else I will say about Luke McCaffrey is the times that he did have a reception or the ball thrown his way, he always caught it. It rarely hit the carpet. So I'm taking things slow with Luke McCaffrey, as I think he'll be a solid piece for the next few years, but I'm not pressing him like how every other Commanders fan truly is, because of course his last name and who his family is, so they're expecting a ton out of him. Me personally, I'm not really expecting him to be superstar status just quite yet or anything of that matter. I'm just kind of taking it slow with him.
But Ja'Cory Brooks, he gonna play a lot.
He has to, man. He has to. I mean, we've been hyping him up all
I
camp
like the
long.
Lane kid y'all got too.
Jalen Lane, you'll probably get a. See, for me, I feel like his role is already kind of carved out because he's gonna be the punt returner. So I think all he needs is one good play, especially as a punt returner. He gets one good decent return, they probably gonna sit him down for the rest of the preseason.
Yeah.
But I think if he'll get some opportunities as well tomorrow. A lot of these rookies and second year guys are gonna get a lot of opportunities, given the fact that we're not like you all in terms of, hey, giving your starters a serious or two. Right, we're going solely backups in terms of the quarterback with Sam Hartman, and I highly doubt they put that a lot of starters out there with Sam Hartman being the backup. Maybe Josh Connelly, our first round draft pick, gets some opportunity. I hope he does. I hope this whole rookie class gets some opportunities to really show what they can do. Going up against, more likely than not, the Patriots' number one defense. I don't know if like Harold Landry or Christian Barmore
I
will be
think
out there.
Vrabel said that the healthy guys are going to play a little bit. If they're healthy, they're going to play. Because, normally the first preseason game, you're going to get your feet wet playing series or two. Next week is because we got joint practice like we did with y'all this week. We got joint practice next week with the Minnesota Vikings. So we got to go out to Minnesota next week. And I think the stars going to play a whole lot. The third game is like a dress rehearsal. It's really for the back end of roster guys. So your starter probably won't play at all that third game. But I think May gonna be out there a series or two tomorrow. I want to see May and the first team offense go down there, first team offense, score a touchdown, and go sit on the bench for the rest of the daggone night. I don't need to see no more Drake May in this offense. Or if you drive the ball, just drive the ball, get a couple first downs, go sit down for the night until next week. I don't want to see no more. Let Josh Dawes take. I think Josh Dawes was solid yesterday too. Let Josh Dawes take over. I love my rookie wide receiver Cal Williams out of Washington State. I want to see what he can do tomorrow night. Javon Baker fighting for a spot. Jalen Poe, some of my defensive guys. We want to see about the pass rush. Gonzo was out yesterday. Carlton Davis was out. So Daniels looked good yesterday, but hey, our 2 starting corners, Pro Bowls were out. And one of our, I think, Duncan was out there. But I want to see how the secondary, some of these depth options look behind Gonzo and Carlton Davis. DJ James, Alex Austin made the play of the day when Daniels went deep to, I think that was Brooks, but he swatted away from him. I want to see how some of these depth guys look and some of the pass rush. But I definitely think our star's going to play probably about 2 series tomorrow.
Yeah, and I definitely will limit you on that. Like, not saying don't be excited about how your secondary looks tomorrow, but just know Terry McLaurin ain't out there, Deebo Samuel ain't out there. So if they happen to dominate our guys, just know those are some backup rotation guys right there.
They should dominate them, right?
Yeah, for sure. The first team defense of you guys should definitely dominate. And that's one thing I will say about the joint practice. I still can't sleep at night because Ron Rivera accepted, or he got Emmanuel Forbes with Christian Gonzalez was right there on the board. When I tell
Man,
you,
a lot of
every
people
Washington
that I know,
Commanders fan,
Commanders are mad about that. A lot of people talk about that.
man, every Washington Commanders fan wanted Christian Gonzalez, man, because we knew exactly what he turned into and exactly who he is for you all. We knew that's what he was going to be. I can't sleep at night still to this day because our first round pick from that draft, Emmanuel Forbes, is no longer in his roster.
Where is
But
he
your
at?
guy is a Pro Bowl, All Pro, one of the best All Pro caliber, one of the best cornerbacks in this game. And I can't help but just wish what would that be looking like right now had we have got Christian Gonzalez like we were supposed to.
Bro, if y'all would have got Gonzo, he would have been going up against AJ Brown twice a year, Malik Neighbors twice a year, and CD freaking Lamb twice a year. That, man, y'all would have got your money's worth out of him. Like, come on, man. That would have been nice. Then y'all got, where's Forbes at now?
He's in LA, Rams.
I haven't even, he probably ain't doing much. He can't be doing much. I ain't heard about him.
Mm-hmm.
But, man.
Yeah, that was such a disaster pick, man. But going back to just a little bit more of the game here, I'm interested. I want it for my personal fan's sake. I want to see my boy Antonio Gibson. How has he been since leaving the Burgundy and Gold?
Man, believe it or not, our start running back is Ramondre Stevenson. He fumbles the ball too much. But Antonio Gibson had a better year last year, I feel, than Ramondre Stevenson. I think Gibson's gonna have a big year this year because Josh McDaniels love getting the running backs involved. And McDaniels used to be a wide receiver. He was solid with y'all, but I think we use him a lot better than what y'all did. And this offseason, McDaniels been using him a little bit. We got Travion Henderson. We drafted him at Ohio State. We got Len Larson, the undrafted kid out of UC Davis. Antonio Gibson, a lot of people been talking about possibly trading him or cutting him. He's been involved. Gibson can play. I like his running style. He's very patient when he runs the ball. But we don't sleep on Antonio Gibson. He made a couple plays yesterday. I think Gibson probably play a little bit tomorrow, but Antonio Gibson isn't going nowhere. I want to see how McDaniel's using him in this system. He's been real solid for us.
I'd love to hear that because when I tell you Antonio Gibson was stellar here in Washington, we know the potential is there. It's all about the health, and like you mentioned, can the offensive coordinator, in fact, use him right? I think he suffered a lot from injuries and Scott Turner and Eric Bieniemy instead of having a true legit. Like if he had Cliff Kingsbury as his play caller, I think he probably would be much better than what he in fact ended up being here. But it's good to hear a former commander, say former family member of ours doing pretty well there in New England. So I look forward to seeing a little bit of AG tomorrow. You even got one of my older guys, my boy Momo, man. Morgan Moses is still around.
Yeah, we got Morgan Moses,
and that's my dog.
Solid. We got him on a pitch count right now because he's getting older, but he's very, very solid. He's gonna be solid for a start in that right tackle, opposite Will Campbell, left top.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Morgan Moses is he's still a right man. I'm talking about he was a Redskin. You know Commanders football team. I'm talking about Trent Williams, Brandon Scherf, Morgan Moses. That's more like Morgan. That's a freak.
How was he with y'all? What, he was solid?
Man, what? That offensive. I'm not saying he was like a first team all pro, right? I'm not saying he was like that, but Mo had he held a lot. Don't get me wrong, holding was his kryptonite, but you never had to question right tackle. He was always there. And when you needed him to play left tackle, if
I heard
anything,
he's
he
tough
could
as
switch to
nails
left
too.
tackle. Yeah, he definitely. And I miss those days. When I tell you, bro, we our offensive line, Kirk Cousins, those that man, you get me reminiscing about those good days, man.
I heard he
Uh,
tough as nails too, Morgan Moses.
what I think Will Campbell is in great hands in terms of learning from a guy like a
Like
Morgan
no.
Moses. But let's even talk about that, right? We both took offensive linemen in the first round with our first picks, right? You take Will Campbell, out of LSU, and our boy Jaden Daniels knows him all too well, right? Man, when you guys took Will Campbell, before I even get your reaction on it, man, I heard him talk. You know what I'm saying? He say they asked him soon as he come off stage from getting drafted, he says, "I'm gonna fight and die." You know what I'm saying for my quarterback and stuff like that. I mean, just talk about how that alone gets you excited about what this man can mean for you. I mean, we're talking about, and I know this is probably a huge reach, but we got to talk about just not even saying specific tackle, guard, or center, but I mean, I just think about a guy like you guys have Matt Light, right? Though that's one of the greatest offensive linemen ever, regardless of position. Like that's that kind of level that we're talking about. You know what I'm saying when it comes to Will Campbell.
I think with Campbell, the talk coming out the draft was his body type, his physique, his arms are short. He's been all we can ask for. Now he's had his struggles against Keon White. He had a little bit of he was solid yesterday against Detroit White. Detroit White's got him a couple times one-on-one, but he was solid. I always say if you don't hear your left tackle named during the game, he's doing a good job. I don't want to hear you. I only want to know you on the field. I don't want to hear your name. If I hear your name, that means you're holding, you're getting beat or something. If you don't never hear your lineman's name, they doing something good. So I think, like I said, coming out, he had the arm length problem, whatnot. They thought his arm strength, his arm length, his wingspan wasn't long enough. He's been a solid for it. He's going through some rookie growing pains. He's had some up and down practices, but I expect when the time, because I know week one we got Crosby, so we knew coming into the draft we got to protect May. We got Diggs and Free, so we know. Personally, I didn't want Camp. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter. I was hoping the Giants took Shador so that Travis Hunter will fall in our lap. That's what I was hoping for. I didn't, and then I want to trade back in and get like a Connelly or the kid that went to the Chiefs on Simmons. I was hoping to do that. I did not want Will Campbell, and I'll be the first to say it, but we got him. He's been solid for. I'm just hoping he improves. He's young. I like what he said about May when he's on stage and whatnot. And I just want to know that we got that left side of my franchise quarterback protected for a while, a good decade or so. What I want to know. So he's been solid. I can't wait to week one because we're gonna know about Will Campbell early. We open up with the Raiders, Max Crosby, he's coming. Then we got Miami. They got Chalk Robinson, Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips. Then we got the Steelers with T.J. Watt, Alex Highsmith. And then week 4, we got the Panthers. I like what the Panthers did at edge in the pass rush. So we're gonna know about Will Campbell early. But I ain't got no choice. I like the pick. I'm a fan. I'm a content creator for the team. I like the pick. Just want to. I think he's gonna continue to get better. And like I said, I think you're gonna see a lot of Will Campbell tomorrow. I think Will Campbell's gonna play a couple series. Even when we take May out, I think Campbell's gonna be out there.
Man, as a fan of a team that seen some bad offensive lines, and I know if as of late you probably have as well. But from a fan of a team that has been a part of some bad offensive line, I mean, Sam Howell was the most sacked quarterback and kind of, quite frankly, changed the trajectory of his career because I felt like he could have been a decent starter. Man, we're in the same boat where we got 2 franchise quarterbacks, and the last thing we need is injury, shell shock, the David Carr effect, right? Where you can't even play ball because you got hit so many times. That's the last thing that we need from our quarterback. So regardless of if you think it's the sexy pick or if it's the best pick or whatever, man, I think Will Campbell has the potential to be one of the best in the game at some point.
How has
And
Connelly been?
So Connelly, he has been solid in camp. You've heard some beat reporters talk about how he's off to a slow start and this and that, but at the end of the day, he's in a room with Laramie Tunsil. He's in a room with Sam Cosmi, right? These veteran guys that are some of the best in the game at their positions. So if he started out slow in camp, maybe he's just not a practice person because yesterday when he saw New England and a different kind of team, he got the business. Him and Laramie Tunsil had stellar days yesterday. I mean, Laramie
I
Tunsil
heard.
almost started a fight, but you know what I mean. You
They
had to
didn't even
check
hear
on,
Keon White's name yesterday.
yeah, and then you had to check on Mike Vrabel because he jumping in the bottom of the pile. You know what I'm saying? Get a little bloody there, but
Yeah,
he's been solid, man, and I can't wait to see what he looks like tomorrow in the preseason because I think he's gonna be our franchise right tackle. You know what I'm saying? With the potential to go to left tackle, depending on how long Laramie Tunsil was here and he's playing at a start at a top level. But we drafted him based off of his immediate impact that he can make as a right tackle, but also the versatility that he provides. Because at Oregon, he was a left tackle, but he also played a little bit on the other side as well. So he's been solid. Haven't heard too much negative about him. It's all been positive talk. But back to the main point, man. I think at the end of the day, protecting your quarterback is the number one thing that you need to do, especially when you have a guy that you think so highly of. So, I mean. I think Will Campbell is going to be a good pick. Again, probably
I
not the
hope so.
sexiest pick, but I think he's going to ultimately be damn good.
I hope so, man. Because we offensive line since Bill has left, even Bill Belichick last couple of years, offensive line has been a disaster. It really has. So I'm hoping Will Campbell can protect Drake May that side. You got your franchise quarterback, you got a franchise tackle for the next 10 years. Let's go.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So let's actually get a little bit more into some personal players of your team, and are you looking forward to seeing and like who must have a really big day tomorrow in order to make this roster or kind of even just to impress you over there?
I want to see my backup left tackle, Vidarian Lowe. He's on the roster bubble because if Will Campbell or Morgan Moses get hurt, we need backups. I want to see both my backups, Vidarian Lowe, Marcus Bryant, see how they do, Demontre Jacobs. I know you said one player, but I'm going to go with a few players.
Hey, go ahead.
Wide receiver, Javon Baker. I mean, you guys, y'all probably could use some wide receiver there. If Javon Baker puts on a show, maybe if he's not on our team, because we got Diggs, Pop, Kayshawn Booty, Mac Hollins, Cal Wood. We got 5. Most teams carry about 5, maybe 6 wide receivers. Baker's fighting for that 6th spot. Baker and Efton Chisholm. So I'm hoping that Baker can produce the market. He's gonna play a lot, him and Efton Chisholm. So it's a big game for the back, like for the second for Baker, Jalen Pope, Efton Chisholm, and on defense, Braden Swenson. Jaden Daniels knows him very well from LSU, one of his former teammates and whatnot. I want to see some of these guys, the rookie class from this year and the rookie class from last year. In a nutshell, that's what I really want to see. But my main guy is Javon Baker. I think he had a couple catches. He had a touchdown yesterday. If he can get himself together, he's the guy we're really looking forward to seeing tomorrow. Javon Baker and Jalen Pope, them 2 young wide receivers from the draft class last year. So basically, the whole draft class last year, that's what I want to see tomorrow.
Definitely, I definitely understand you with wanting to see some of your wide receivers because, as you mentioned, right outside of Stephon Diggs, it's no shoe
Diggs
Hollins
and
and
Pop and Booty. I mean, Pop and Booty just coming around, but I mean, Pop he did some work on Sinstro yesterday.
yeah, he definitely did. He definitely had Sam still looking crazy out there.
Yeah,
But what's crazy because I remember you guys a couple of seasons ago. I think I had a bill at Taquan Thornton, like how,
bro.
how how that was such a failure for you all. I mean, and that's one thing that
We
you could
can't
always
draft a
say.
receiver to save our life.
I was gonna allude to that, like. Even talk about all your success with Brady and your 7 rings with Tom Brady. It was like
Still
outside of
couldn't draft.
Randy Moss and Chad Ochocinco, like who are these guys that Tom Brady truly threw the ball to?
Brandon
Eventually,
Cooks,
like Julian Edelman and Danny Amendola, but he made those guys into who
Chris
they
Hogan.
were.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
Chris
those were
Hogan.
free agents, and we signed Julian Edelman. We have not had a receiver that we draft. Now, Pop Douglas, everybody say Bill Belichick can't draft. He drafted Pop Douglas in the 6th round, and he drafted Kayshawn Booty in the 6th round. Kayshawn Booty had 500 yards last year in his 2nd year. Pop Douglas, every year, Pop Douglas has gotten better. And now he has the proper coaching now. So Bill Belichick gets a lot of slack for not being able to draft wide receivers. We hit on Pop Douglas and Kayshawn Boutte. We really did.
Yeah, I definitely am interested to see how he performs tomorrow and whatnot. But if you had to go with some of your other side of the ball guys, some guys that you may feel like is on a roster bubble, or some guys that you think if they have a strong preseason showing that they could truly make this roster on the defensive side of the ball.
DJ James, corner from Auburn, he's coming on. He's been getting reps with Gonzo and Carlton Davis being out. Carlton Davis deal with an injury situation. DJ James has been balling. He's had a pretty good camp. Came out of nowhere. So I want to see him tomorrow. And Kobe Minor, Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick of the draft. I want to see him. Those are two guys. I'll say a Bowden too. So that's secondary. We got it. I want to see what's the depth at corner because Gonzo's out right now. Carlton Davis out right now. Carlton Davis misses about 4 games a year. So we're going to need an outside corner opposite Gonzo. So I want to see DJ James tomorrow and some of these 3rd and 4th string corner. I want to see them how they do tomorrow.
Okay. That definitely sounds worthy of keeping an eye out for your offense and defensive side of the ball. Now, for me personally, I felt like Mike Vrabel was a damn good hire, right? I felt like in Tennessee, he only got fired because it was like they kept hitting this wall, right? It
Yeah.
was they would win the AFC South, but they wouldn't really do much with it. They
He has
couldn't
some
get
good
over this
teams in
wall.
Tennessee too.
Yeah, definitely. So I felt like a lot of it had to do with just a new scenery. Sometimes you need a new fresh air. And with Mike Vrabel, I think he instantly kind of brings that Dan Quinn pedigree, right? That toughness, that physical edge that ain't gonna take BS from gonna
Dan
hype your
Campbell.
team up, right? Yep, Dan Campbell as kind of make you run through a wall. So, what's your first impressions of Mike Vrabel, the hire, and going from Gerard Mayo and and before we even do that, you can answer this as well. But was Gerard Mayo kind of like that David Culley hiring? Like you knew he was a sitting duck and never really was given a fair opportunity,
He
or was
was
he
worse
just
than
that bad last year?
he was worse than that. He just wasn't ready, man. Just in a nutshell, he just wasn't ready. Kraft admitted that after we fired him, he brought Vrabel in. He admitted he said Mayo wasn't ready. He said he gonna be a good coach one day, but he wasn't ready. And the only reason why we hired Mayo because we had a clause in his contract that after we got rid of Belichick, Mayo was going to be the heir apparent to Belichick. There was only if it wasn't for that, Vrabel would have been coaching us last year. He'd been coaching us last year. So, but what you said, what I've seen from Vrabel so far?
Yeah, what's your first impressions and your impressions now after the hire?
He's organized. He's upfront. He's transparent. He's not going to take no bull crap. He's going to be straight up with you. He's going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. He reminds me of Belichick, but a funner Belichick. He's organized. Like practices are organized. He's in your face. He'll call you out in meetings. We got a thing going on right now. I don't know if you heard. We got like a series called Forest and Foxborough. We got that going on right now. And you can just see him in the meetings. He'll call you out in the meeting if you think you ain't paying attention, or he just call you out just for the hell of it. He's organized. He's blunt. He's upfront. He's stern with his message. Now, I know that doesn't mean you're going to win the Super Bowl. You're going to win 15 daggone games, but it's a good start because I think we needed that. And he brought in some of his guys from Tennessee. We got Elliott Wolf at GM. He brought in Ryan Cowden from the Giants, a personnel guy. I think Vrabel's message is getting to these players. And, Stephon Diggs had the incident on the boat about a month or so ago. He got on Diggs or whatnot. They didn't find him to suspend him, but we ain't heard nothing bad about Stephon Diggs since. So I think Vrabel, and look at the teams he had in Tennessee. He dealt with A.J. Brown. He dealt with Tannehill and Derrick Henry, Corey Davis and Simmons, Landry, some of those guys. He dealt with a lot of those guys when he was there. I love it. I hope I think we're gonna win this year. Now we're not winning the Super Bowl this year, but I think we're gonna be back. And then the crowd yesterday, that's the most fans we've attended. They attend our practice. Vrabel's gonna bring that culture back. And the fans were rocking yesterday. It was loud yesterday. It just feels different this year. Last year with Mayo, I knew we was going to be bad last year. I just wanted to see May, and I was kind of taking it week to week, trying to plan my part. I knew it was going to be bad. This year just feels different. It just feels different. Like it feels like we have a freaking professional team out there. Last year, we didn't seem like a professional team. We was a joke last year. I feel like this year just feels so much different. And we was with the Commanders yesterday and March, like going back and forth with y'all on the field. Y'all was just in it. Y'all was one game from the Super Bowl. And I know some of you guys weren't playing, but still, the fact that we was going tit for tat with y'all guys yesterday, we got the. I mean, it just feels different, man. I can't put it in words, man. I think Vrabel is going to be good with us. I think we're going to get back to winning this year.
I feel exactly where you're coming from because when I tell you, man, and I really shouldn't cut you no slack because you know how winning feels, right? 7 Super Bowl freaking rings, man. So like it
No,
ain't
I've
like
been hurt these last few years. We've
yeah,
been
but it ain't like
terrible.
you've been suffering though. You needed this break from
Yeah.
success, man. You all you known was winning. So you needed to suffer just a little bit. Me, all I known is trash, man.
Right.
So like I needed this in the worst way, but all seriousness, man, I know exactly where you're coming from because and that's why when I first came on, I said like I feel like you are where we were last year in terms of the changing of the guard, right? It just feels different. It feels like we have adults in the building again. It doesn't
Mhm.
feel trash, childish, news, media leaks or nothing. And that's the sense of feeling that you're having. And when I tell you it's such a fun ride, and I know how passionate that fan base is. I mean, again, this we're talking about a team that was probably the most hated team by the rest of the NFL because of how good they were. But
You got two of the most hated teams in the NFL: the Patriots and the Cowboys. They are the
yeah,
two most hated teams.
yeah, and I think you guys, man, are on a nice trajectory for sure because of not only having a quarterback but having a damn good head coach. And say what you want about Josh McDaniels as a person, as a head coach, as an offensive coordinator, he's proven to be damn good. You
Yes,
know what
sir.
I'm saying? Only person that y'all missing to bring the old band back is Matt Patricia. And so maybe I don't know if you go poke him from Ohio State or whatever, wherever he's at right now in the future. Maybe you bring him back home, but maybe you guys could be back to being the Patriot way and Patriot
Relevant,
winning very
a
shortly.
professional freaking relevant, a professional team.
Yeah, definitely. Because I mean, that's is all we know as NFL. But take the Commanders jersey away, take the Patriots head away. When you just think about the NFL, you think about Tom Brady, you think about Bill Belichick, you think about the success of Robert Kraft and the Patriots and the NFL. Quite frankly, and say what you want, it's better when the Patriots are one of the best teams in the game. So that being said, man, it was great having you on.
Real quick, I do
Go
want to
ahead.
ask you a question. Okay, your division. And before we get off, what are your expectations for the Commanders this year? Where you see y'all falling in your division, and like what you think is the ceiling? Because y'all was one game from the Super Bowl last year. What do you think is the ceiling this year for Jaden Daniels and this team to go this year? And I want to ask you specifically about your division, the Cowboys. They brought in George Pickens. They got CD Lamb. How you think y'all mad? Because y'all didn't play Dak last year,
Mhm.
and I think I'm going. I might be going out on the limb. I think Dallas is going to go into Philly week 1 and win that game. That's what I think right now. That's what I think. Now I know I was going to ask you this too.
Mhm.
Your most hated team in your division. I like asking people this. Probably the Eagles, right? Or is the Cowboys?
But, hey, it's the Eagles now. For a while,
The
I mean,
Cowboys.
of course, it was Dallas, of course, but I'll be honest, it was the Giants, and it was the Giants for the simple fact
Wow.
of yeah, because we drafted Dwayne Haskins, may God rest his soul, and Daniel Jones was their draft pick, and they would give me hell for that because I always wanted Dwayne Haskins to be better than Daniel Jones so much, and then it did not help that Dwayne Haskins wasn't good here, and Daniel Jones, we could never beat them, and they talk so much trash to be so mediocre, but we couldn't say nothing back because they always beat us. No matter how trash the goddamn Giants was, they always beat us. For a while, it was always Dallas growing up. The past few years, it was the Giants, but now it's definitely Philly. Can't stand them. And let me
Why
just say
can't you
this:
stand it? What is it?
their fans, the ignorance, like just everything about the green, ugh, I hate it. But I was just gonna say that. I hate them all. I don't have favoritism towards none of them. I hope they both are trash. I hate them all. But right now, definitely the Eagles because I mean it's just the Philly sports, man. They take it to a whole different level of
Man, you
ignorance,
think
man.
Patriots fans are like Patriots media is bad? Eagles media crazy.
Man, and they wanted to fire Nick Sirianni last year, but all of a sudden now they love him, and he's one of the best coaches in the NFL. Like I just can't stand him. I really can't. I can't.
How you feel about Pickens and the Cowboys with Lamb?
So I definitely think a healthy Cowboys team, that offense could be one of the best in the league. Of course, we'll see how their running game is with Blue and whatnot. But I definitely think they could be damn good in terms of a pass game, especially if Dak stays healthy. I look at Dallas like this. Right, they got to get Michael Parsons under contract, of course. But I look at Dallas as this, right? They're gonna do what they do yearly, year in and year out. They
And they've
start
been
out the
pretty
season
good
hot.
in the division too.
Say it again.
They've been pretty good against like in the division. They've been pretty good.
So what I was gonna say about that, they always every team in the NFC East always plays tough. And I'm talking about a normal year where everyone's healthy for the most part. But with Dak and the Cowboys, they always start out every year fiery. October, Dak is
Mhm.
one of the best in the league. Oh, MVP this, and then they tail off. So maybe this year is different, but I highly doubt it because I just don't know what I'm getting myself into in terms of Brian Schottenheimer. I just feel like he's a yes man, and that's why Jerry Jones hired him instead of going out and getting a legit head coach. But we'll see. But I think I think they'll finish third in the division. You know what I'm saying? I'm higher on the New York Giants than most people. I like Tyrone Tracy. Malik Davis is damn good. That defensive line is damn good. So it wouldn't surprise me if the Giants leap them. But I definitely think they'll finish third in the division because I think my boys are damn good as well. I'm picking us to go 12-5 again, but our ceiling definitely, in my opinion, is 13-4. Jaden Daniels himself, he puts himself in the conversation of one of the best in the league and could be an MVP caliber quarterback if he has that kind of season. So I think the sky's the limit for my boys, but I'm gonna go ahead and say we go 12-5 again and screw it. Yes, we win the division. And it comes down because we play the Eagles and we got this thing where we play the Eagles late in the season, and I think those games will decide the division.
You think y'all match up pretty good with Philly?
Definitely do. I definitely do. I think defensively, or even I'll say this: our whole free agent strategy was to match up against Philly. They dominated us on the ground last year. We went out and got a former guy of yours,
Carl
Dietrich
Davis.
Wise.
And
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
Richard
Yeah,
Wise,
we got Javon
Jonathan
Kinlaw.
Jones.
We overloaded a lot of defensive line talent this year to stop Philly. We got another cornerback in the draft, and Trey Amos, who played really well against Stephon Diggs yesterday to match up AJ Brown. Like everything we did was to counter what Philly did to us last year. So I definitely think we match up against them very
You
well,
think y'all match up pretty good against Dallas too?
for sure. I think we can dominate Dallas.
So with Lamb and Pickens, and I know I mean it's a lot that goes into it. It ain't just Lamb, but at Dak, Dak is sometimes. I love Dak. I like Dak now. I think he needs to get the hell out of Dallas to get the respect he needs. He needs to get out of Dallas. How you think y'all match up with Lamb and Pickens? CD Lamb's a freaking dog.
Yeah,
I would give up the house to have him in New England.
Yeah, I think we match up well against these guys. Again, with the addition of Trey Amos, with Mikey Sanders still being one of the best young cornerbacks in the game, and a healthy Marshawn
Lattimore.
Lattimore, I think we are going to do very well against them. So I have no doubt in my mind that we match up very well against everybody in our division because
How
again, we
many
have
weeks before George Pickens start complaining about the ball and having sideline antics?
I'll give it the first half. I'll say the first half is when at halftime he'll
He on
start
his
crying
good
about the ball.
behavior right now, but just give it some time.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. But that being said, man, I appreciate you for taking time out your night, your busy night, my guy. Hopefully, your Patriots do very, very well this year. You know what I'm saying? Outside of winning the Super Bowl, because we want to reserve that for the Burgundy and Gold over here. But let everyone know where they could find your work.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, I appreciate you having me on, man. On Ken's Pat Talk on Twitter, Ken's Pat Talk on YouTube, Ken's Pat Talk. I'm on Instagram, TikTok. Check me out. Hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Even if you're not a Patriots fan, you're an NFL fan, Commander fan. I talk all NFL, not just Patriots, but come over there, check me out, man. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, man. I really appreciate it. Ken's Pat Talk on all social media.
Yes, sir. So thank you so much again for stopping by, and best of luck to you and your fellas this year. As always, me and boy Juan got it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. I'll catch y'all later. I'm out.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Peace.
Never gave a one. Ballin' like I'm Deshaun, throw the bomb, G.